Hey, I'm Nick, and today we're going to be exploring some unremarkable and forgotten places in my Minecraft world. So my goal for this video is to help you appreciate that, not every Minecraft world has to be beautiful and not every build has to be this awesome thing. Because I feel like what makes a Minecraft world truly special, especially if you've been playing on it for a while, is like these random little unremarkable spaces, these kind of forgotten little nooks and crannies of your world that over time, as you build and as your builds kind of evolve, they just kind of get forgotten. And I feel like it's these random little spaces that kind of build the world's story and kind of, help you have memories of your world. Okay, hold on. I'm being all reminiscent. So, truthfully, this video is going to be kind of yappy. So sit back, enjoy. Hopefully it's relaxing if nothing else. But the first spot I want to show you is right under here, underneath my storage room. So I just kind of have this random little cavern. And if we free cam, it's literally just three blocks underneath here. And the story behind this is that when I was building what is now my storage room, originally this was going to be sort of like a farm area. Early game, I was kind of being a little bit of a gopher and I did not want to go back up to the surface. So I wanted to bring everything from the overworld down here to the cave. So I emptied it, I mined this whole area out. And the reason I made this, this was obviously all connected, there was no floor here. And I kind of built like a staircase down here. And this was originally going to be kind of like a tree farm. So I wanted to have like a really tall ceiling for this to be a tree farm. And that never ended up happening because I found out that like it took trees way longer to grow underground than if they were above ground. So yeah, that's a random little spot. Oh my gosh. So yeah, like I've been saying, I've been playing this world for about a year. I guess you could say it's sort of serious. Oh my god, Nick, put a ring on it already. Yeah, I'm working on that. Anyways, the two skeleton spawners down here. And this is sort of like my little observation room here. But if we cut out this little wall here, there's just this random space behind here. So I kind of framed out the skeleton spawners and I built these kind of like lights above, just sort of that kind of mirrors the lights below. I don't know, this is such a random thing, but I sort of framed out these skeleton spawners. And as a result, there was just this cave that was behind them that sort of just kind of got left out. I didn't really want to use these. So an interesting thing about this little space back here is I'm not sure exactly where it is. Actually, it might be easier if I go back up to the base. Before I built the water elevator, I actually had like a really crappy staircase. I don't want to talk about it. I had a really crappy staircase that was about right here. If we hop in free cam, you can kind of see oh my god, I have lanterns down here. Why did I put these here instead of torches? Okay. Weird flex, bro, using lanterns. But you can kind of see this crappy little staircase sort of left over. Oh, this is actually so trippy. Oh, what? Oh, there's another staircase. Dude, this is so weird. What the heck? What is this? Bro, this is... Dude, oh my gosh. I completely forgot that there was like a... Oh my... Bro, this is so weird. I'm like rediscovering all this stuff with you guys for the first time. Before I built the water elevator, there's actually a staircase that I built that kind of went down here. And this went directly to the skeleton spawners down here. And it's kind of weird. I never filled them back in, so I just have these random little air pockets, I guess, throughout the world. But I remember like building this staircase down here and like running into this water. And like at the time I thought this space was like a huge cave, but it was really just this dumb little pocket of water. It's so weird to think that my world has literally changed that much that I completely forgot that there's just random stuff everywhere. Like the early days of this cave system, before it was like illuminated, there was just like literally zombies and skeletons just jumping out of the walls and creepers jumping out of the walls and like blowing me up. So over time I sort of filled things in and lit everything up. That's why, even though I completely forgot this was up here, to be honest, but you can see that there's torches over here just so like I didn't have to hear like mob sounds in the walls, you know? Oh, that's so weird. But yeah, it's like random things like that that I feel like give Minecraft world such character, you know what I mean? Like the longer you play a world, the more kind of weird stuff you'll have, like remnants of old builds and just, you know, memories that you've had when you were building the place, you know? So in my world tour, I kind of pointed out this spot as what was originally going to be my base, but I just sort of left it open. I guess this could be considered unremarkable, but what I think is really unremarkable is this little cutout right here. I don't know why. I feel like this little spot is so just cozy because, no, it's just a random little hole in the wall. So here's another little random pocket that it's kind of funny. Like I never extended the grass over here for some reason. Like, okay, why is there a sheep here? Hi, baby. What is he doing in the corner? But yeah, this is like another random little spot of my world that, you know, is really just a kind of left over from the build, you know, that it never got filled in. I never like walled it off or anything. So it's just this random little cave. But yeah, I feel like even though Minecraft is a static game, it's just like what makes it so special is that since you have to place everything, you know, the world itself really does have its own story, just kind of as a byproduct of you progressing through the game, you know, gathering materials, building your way through the world. The longer you have a world, the more stories you'll have of just random little things like that. So, I guess we can come down here. Ooh, I kind of want to... Actually, let's go this way. Let's go this way. I want to save down there for later. So I was trying to think of... So this is done live, if you couldn't tell. Will we ever see a video where Nick doesn't do it live? Probably not going to happen. But if we come down through here, through my my sheep farm... Oh, this kind of reminds me, actually. Gosh, you guys are getting a live view of my thought process. It's pretty much everywhere. That's the village. You kind of come through here. The gate doesn't work. Don't worry about that though. This pathway just kind of goes nowhere, right? And I guess this could be considered unremarkable and just weird. So this was originally my sheep farm. Over time, I just kind of herded them down here and gave them this nice little like pasture that they could like roam freely in. I like my sheep free roaming. And yeah, this was another area that I never ended up doing anything with. It just kind of is a pathway to nowhere. I think at one point I wanted to tunnel kind of through here and towards this village that I showed off a little bit in my world tour, but I never did. So it's just a kind of a pathway to nowhere. We love that. Very quirky, Nick. Thank you for showing us that. This is such a random thing, but for some reason I wanted to build like an observatory here, and I guess I did wall it off, but there was a cave back here. And this cave like vaguely connected over here to this room again, but it was obviously all filled in now. But I was gonna build like kind of like an observatory, like glass dome sort of thing here. Never ended up happening. There's a lot of just random ideas or memories that I have of like builds that I wanted to do that never ended up happening. And here's, I guess, a chest that I had that was over here. This is another thing too. Throughout this world, I have so many of these just like double chests, and I'll usually have like a crafting bench nearby. And I just sort of like built these around as I was building the world because I would cut down so many trees that I would just have an excess amount of materials. And I didn't want to like bring it all the way downstairs to my main room, so I would just kind of chuck them in these chests. So this world is like all kinds of unorganized, but don't worry, we love that. Let's actually hop down here into the sewer, and I kind of want to show you guys like a cool little spot. This little, I call it a gullet. I don't even think that's the word for it, but this little gullet here, it kind of dropped down here, and before obviously the sewer kind of cut through here, there's this little waterfall, and you can actually see the block right there where the waterfall was. I kind of use this little hole in the ground as sort of like, kind of like a hideaway. So there's this kind of just sort of cavern here. But if you can see up there, it kind of keeps going. And this is another unused little space. Is there a grass block? I guess there was an Enderman in here at one point, but you can sort of see the outline of the sewer system. But I did actually use this cave for a little bit. I was gonna make it into like maybe like a little bandit camp hideaway sort of thing. But I have like some half slabs here because I did have kind of like a stone staircase that was through here. This kind of connects back to my another early build that I had. So if we kind of come through here. So yeah, that's what's behind this wall. It's just like an empty little space. But if we come through here, you'll notice this cutout. I don't think I ever showed this off in a video, or if I did, it was very briefly. But it's just kind of like Indiana Jones kind of vibe, sort of all natural stone tunnel through here. And if you come up here, you guys, actually this is low-key kind of decorated, kind of nice. Hold up. Look at the half slab work. Look at that. That's nasty work. Dang, I was crazy with the half slabs. But here is one of my signature 1x1 tunnels. I love these things. Can't get enough of them. But this is actually like a one-way drop. So you obviously can't climb back up here. And for some reason I thought I filled it in, so it's kind of weird. So this is actually a lot more unnoticeable than I thought, or discreet than I thought, but you can kind of like fall down there. So this was like another way that connected to that little hole. I had this this well here, you know, from the village. And what I did was you would drop down here, and this kind of all looks the same other than the stone bricks, but it would kind of like zigzag over here and it connected to this tunnel. So yeah, like the sewer just kind of like bulldozed through that original build that I had. But I still have this like little cutout that I had. So, you know, it's just kind of cool that over time, like some of my builds kind of overlap into each other, and it's just fun, you know. Like I think there's just something so cool about how like the world's changed over time. And again, another one-way 1x1 tunnel. This one kind of leads out over here to the boathouse that my brother made. When I was building this pathway, I would hear like zombie noises and skeleton noises all the time, and I was thinking like, okay, maybe they're up there. But I lit that area up and I was like, okay, they're not up there. They're obviously not in this village area. But actually, I think it was right here. Oh yeah, this was actually it. There was actually this little like tunnel down here that they were in. So if we mine our way down here, you can kind of see like I have a really random cobblestone thing that I probably used to build my way up. But there's just this random little cave that, again, I sort of just lit it up because I was tired of hearing stupid skeleton noises all the time. Let me put more torches actually. You know, even though it's not being used, it still has its story, and it still has its kind of like moment that I remember coming across it, you know. And this kind of goes down pretty far. Yo, no way. Hold up. Does this actually connect? Wait, that's kind of cool. Oh, geez. Actually, saying this sort of gives me an idea to like build this out and maybe make it like a secret way to connect down there. That'd be kind of cool. But hold on. I'm trying to show you guys like random little spots. I'm getting distracted. I'm sort of like rediscovering all this stuff for like the first time with you guys. This was like what I was saying earlier, where I was like cutting out all the trees and I would just kind of stuff everything into these chests. And I would build these little like, I guess, checkpoints in a way. So I'd build the double chest, put everything in here, and then I would build a crafting table just so it was easy for me. I wouldn't have to like run back to a crafting table. I would just have these little workstations spread out throughout the world. I think over time I've kind of gotten rid of them. I feel like I had a lot more of those things spread out everywhere. Here's another one. Just a random little checkpoint that I made. This one has like a lot more stuff in it. So originally this big empty space was going to be, you know, kind of like a huge mansion. I'm slowly working my way over here. Like I built this little pathway and gatehouse over here. So we're slowly getting there. We're slowly start using this space. But this little hole in the ground, which I guess isn't so little because it's low-key like a cave down here. I wanted a nice flat place to build, so I just built this really crappy like one layer of dirt block over the whole thing to sort of level everything out. And I'm kind of curious what's okay. So actually, this is kind of funny seeing all these bricks. When I was like gonna build the house, I wanted to build it out of brick just to kind of recreate those like early Minecraft build sort of vibes, you know, where like if your house was made out of brick, it was kind of like a flex because brick was so hard to get. So yeah, this is just one of those spaces that, like, you know, is just empty because I never ended up building anything. And I feel like whenever people are doing world tours, they focus on like the beautiful parts of the world. But I feel like it's like these unfinished areas that make a world what it is. And it's kind of like the memories that you have of building the world that make them special, you know? So, yeah, I guess we can go this way actually. We'll take the water elevator up. So put the elytra on here. If we fly down here, one of my favorite builds of all time is this little ruined castle that we did. So yeah, if we come down here and crawl through here, I kind of want to low-key like set this as my spawn point, but another just like quirky little location again with the 1x1 tunnels. Who is this man? So we have this really big empty space underneath the build here. Originally, when I first spawned in the world, this area was all trees. I kind of cleared it out. But where this grass is was where this like mound sort of ended. And I just kind of built it up into this little like tower, or I guess spire would be the word for it. And originally this empty space, like just underneath here, was gonna be kind of like a treasure room. And I remember sort of doing it. I kind of filled it with like gold blocks and like diamond blocks. But I really just did not like how it turned out, so I threw it all away basically and just left it as stone. Maybe, you know, eventually I'll come back and do that, but that's just another random little spot in the world that, you know, has its story even though there's nothing built there. Okay, so actually let's come down here. We can kind of come through here. I always thought this cave was pretty cool, but again, there's just nothing here. Actually, I do remember this cave being like really big for no reason. Oh yeah, there's a zombie right here. But this thing goes like way down here. Oh my gosh, I'm over here like brainstorming ideas too. I guess the main takeaway from this video is like, you know, maybe kind of go around and explore little areas that you haven't been to in a while. Maybe you'll come up with more ideas for things to build. I kind of want to like fill this all in with like tinted glass, sort of like how I have over here. Like if you fly over here, I kind of want to do the same thing. And actually, while I'm over here, this kind of area is a spot that I really have not been to in a long time. This is kind of weird. It's kind of funny. I actually ended up doing like vines overhanging on this edge, even though I never come over here. That's kind of cool. But this whole area was filled with trees, and I genuinely do not think I had anything planned for this area. You can sort of see I sort of like built this area up for some reason. I think the reason I cleared it out actually was to like kind of make space for these cherry trees because I wasn't sure how far I wanted to take them. But this is like just one of those random spots that I never go to in the world, and it's just kind of empty. Okay, let's go over here, and I want to show you guys something kind of cool, kind of weird. Downstairs, obviously, in my main base, I have my... Oh, that's not it. I have my nether portal. Early game, before I like went down there and sort of established my base, this village here was my base, and I found this little like lava pool down here. And my first nether portal was actually in here. You can kind of see the remnants of it. Oh, this is so like cool. It's it's kind of cool. It's like a ruin, you know what I mean? It's like this ancient nether portal, and I broke it so that way like whenever I came back through the nether, I wouldn't end up here. You know, I wanted to end up in the nether portal that I built down there in my base. So yeah, this is the remnants of my first nether portal, and you can see like obviously early game you don't have like diamond tools, so what I did was I did like the water bucket trick where you would place down the cobblestone and like, you know, that's how you would get obsidian to make the portal. So yeah, that's my original nether portal frame. And again, this hallway just kind of connects through here. Yeah, I feel like my world is just filled with so many random little spots. You know, if nothing else, I really encourage you guys to walk through your world and just sort of appreciate how it's changed over time. Your Minecraft world really is sort of, it really does have a story, you know, and it's kind of fun to come back and sort of walk through these little areas that maybe you don't go to all the time, because you never know, or you might come up with an idea that you might not have gotten otherwise. So another cool little spot that I always thought was kind of fun but never knew what to do with is this cave. Before I started adding grass in here was obviously all stone, but this grass was here, and you kind of have these little like ponds. I don't know what these would be called, just little bodies of water, but there's like this double layer of water like on top of here, which I always thought was really cool. Maybe I could make this into like a little waterfall. That'd be pretty sweet. I think you guys are seeing the pattern here. Just lots of empty space, but even though it's empty, it's still part of the world and it's still part of the story. I'm pretty sure this connects to the sewer. I was thinking originally of like somehow, when I first built the fountain here, I wanted to somehow connect it down here to this like main part. And I was like, oh, maybe it could kind of feed in here to this water source, and this could feed in down here. But obviously, I just kind of went with the sewer idea. But this is like another thing I could kind of do. So I'm coming up with like, just, I don't know, getting tons of ideas. Pretty unremarkable spot I can show you is this little kind of walk through here. So this space here is directly underneath that glass room that I have. And this space really serves no other purpose other than if I'm sort of flying through this middle part, this courtyard section within the Elytra, I kind of just hollowed it out so that way if I'm flying through here, I can just kind of glide through here, and it gives me sort of like another way to access the village section over here. So I don't know, it's just a very functional space, but it's not very pretty. I kind of tried to make it pretty with the glowberries here. I low-key feel like I overdid the glowberries, but we're gonna let it rock. We're gonna let it slide. I do love how this area, it almost feels like a bridge. You have the depth on either side of it, but nice little overlook. And I always thought this cave down here was really cool, but it's super dangerous down here. You know how they have like the deep dark cities? It'd be really cool to build like a miniature one down here and just leave it unlit, so that way I could like climb down there and like fight things, you know, like sort of like an arena. I always thought that'd be kind of fun. All right, so for the next spot that I want to show you, we have to actually go to the nether. Another little random spot is the bastion here that I've just kind of mined my way through. I'm not really sure why I left these blocks here, to be honest. But kind of just like a weird little spot. Oh, there's a ghast right there. That's wonderful. I was a huge fan of like blackstone, so I just kind of mined all of this out. So now we just have this huge open space down here. And you can see this chest is just filled with polished blackstone and like random little things here. I always thought bastions were like kind of unsettling, you know what I mean? Like if you kind of work your way through them, they're just like these really long, kind of creepy, seeming like very maze-like hallways. I was never a fan of bastions. So this was actually the first world that I made where I actually beat the game. So this is, I guess, technically the first nether fortress I ever came across. And I don't even have like a staircase down here, which is kind of funny. Actually, we do have like this old pathway that maybe I can show you a little bit later. But if we come down here, I kind of like lit the way with shroom lights. Ooh, you know what this is? This is actually a chest for if I was like coming over here and I didn't want to lose anything. So I would just kind of like put stuff here. That's actually so funny. This is so weird. It's like obviously I built all of this, but it's literally been... I really don't have any reason to come to the Nether Fortress, like, except when I first started the world. So maybe like over a year since I've been over here. But yeah, you can see kind of some of the loot that I got from running through this Nether Fortress. I guess something kind of cool about the Nether Fortress here is that there's actually 2 blaze spawners, which is kind of nice, and they're like right across from each other. So we got one right there, and then we have one down there. But honestly, if it wasn't for netherite, I would never come back to the Nether. And I guess kind of an interesting fact about my armor set is all of these, pretty much everything netherite that I have was crafted from like netherite ingots that I found at bastions and things like that, just kind of using elytra to fly around the nether. So I've never actually went mining for ancient debris. Let's see, I'm pretty sure this tunnel here, this actually connects to my raid farm that I showed off in my world tour. And this is just sort of like the long way. The original, like really long way. I don't know if it's, I guess it is blocked off, huh? Over time I was like, okay, it was easier to just go through the bastion than it was to like come down here. But I'm over here yapping. Anyways, I hope you guys sort of enjoyed this more laid back world tour, exploring parts of the world that are just kind of, you know, ordinary and don't really have anything special about them. Kind of like the backstory of the world, just random little bits of the world that don't really get showcased and aren't really, you know, special. Like I never built anything there, but they do have a story and they do have a place in the world. You know, hopefully you guys enjoyed the laid back style of this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.